welcome to this is a whole new program for us. We're going to be helping advisors sort of work through the Bitcoin universe by talking to people who are experts in it, CEOs who have companies. And I'm really happy to have Sonny Meraban with us. He's the CEO of Bitcoin of America. The guy's put together about 1,000 ATMs across the country. It's probably more than that today. But thank you for being here, Sonny. I appreciate this. Is actually our inaugural call on this stuff.
Thanks for having me over, Anthony.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's start at the beginning. You know, you're the audience here, very sophisticated in terms of the financial space, but this is a new Bitcoin is sort of a new piece new thing for everybody, but it's really new for financial advisors. They're concerned about regulation. They're concerned about how it works, concerned about everything. And the ATM is something we're all familiar with, but just walk me through a little bit what you got. You have these ATMs across the country. How do they work? What are the minimums? I mean, I have a million questions about it.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And hopefully, you know, in your segment, we can get all the questions answered. Good. And, you know, so we'll start out with, so what our goal was originally back in 2015 was just to bring Bitcoin and make it safe, secure, and easy for everyone to buy. Okay, rather than using all these complex, you know, websites, just the average guy down the street, he's at a gas station, there's a kiosk right in front of you, and it's easy to use. You know, it's easy to use. You put the cash in the kiosk will print you out a receipt, and that receipt has your QR code with a private and a public address, and basically that is your wallet until you scan it digitally, and then it'll scan into your mobile wallet. And then at that time, once you transfer the funds into your wallet, then you can transfer it, you know, bill pay, or, you know,
so do you need the technology that I would need to get it done? I would need a mobile wallet, or
you don't need
or you provide that.
So technically, there's three different ways that our ATMs will dispense you Bitcoin. Now, a traditional ATM dispenses cash. Right. Our ATM, 99%, it'll dispense Bitcoin. Okay, and the way it dispenses coins is three ways. You can physically enter a Bitcoin address. So let's say I owe somebody money in, you know, overseas. They give me an address. I can manually enter it, or I can physically scan it. Okay, with a barcode scanner on the machine. Okay, or you can actually take your wallet and physically scan it. But if you don't have any of those and you want to get your coins, it'll also print it on a cold wallet, which essentially is the paper wallet. So on that paper wallet, it'll have a QR code. So if you lose the wallet, your funds are gone.
Right.
You know,
right.
So because on that wallet, it has your private keys.
Right.
Okay. So until you go and physically transfer it and scan it, the Bitcoin remains in that QR code wallet, paper wallet.
But that's part of the nature of Bitcoin, period. If I lose my computer and I got my Bitcoin there, I've lost my Bitcoin, right?
Correct. That's part of being a decentralized,
right.
You know, that's part of that decentralized blockchain. You know, you got to be able to know how to handle your wallet and how to handle funds. You got to be able to know how to handle crypto a little bit, because if not, your coins could be at jeopardy. That's right.
Right.
You know,
so if I have that hard copy, which I would think is maybe then I use that as a backup copy.
Let's say paper wallet. So if you have the
paper wallet, so am I able, after having that paper wallet, the number, I'm entering it into my computer, and then I've got the electronic wallet, am I able to and the Bitcoin lives on my computer then? So I'm just wondering, physically, if I go to another computer, can I use that code? Is it the same code to sort of look it up and house it there, or it doesn't work like that?
Yeah, so if you're asking me, if you have your private key, can you transfer it from any computer or wallet? The answer is yes. You know what? The answer is yes. So once you receive that QR code, you can simply open up any wallet, any BitGo wallet, our wallets. You know, we even have our own wallet that we offer, a Jack's wallet, any wallet. and you can transfer your funds from that QR code.
And then what's the size? So, I mean, are there maximums and minimums if I'm going? And then am I using a credit card or a debit card kind of thing?
Yeah, so our Bitcoin ATMs only collect cash. Okay, so now we have the two ways as well. So our ATMs, our Bitcoin ATMs buy and sell Bitcoin. So in order for you to buy Bitcoin, you have to enter cash, and it'll dispense Bitcoin. Okay, and in order for you to sell me Bitcoin, you have to physically, with the QR code, sell me the coins, and then the machine will dispense cash. Okay, so that's what our machines does. Our machines do, and we make an exchange fee, and that's how we make our money is that exchange rate, from dispensing and selling Bitcoin.
And like, again, are there maximums or minimums on that?
Of course. We are registered with FinCEN. I'm sure you've heard of them. Yeah. And we are state.
Do me a favor for other people who don't know. Just why don't you explain what that is?
FinCEN is basically Big Brother and the government making sure that that we're doing our job right. We do OFAC on every customer. Basically every single federal guidelines regulation. We are considered a money transmitter. We're at MSB. So under the guidelines of money service business federally is how we operate. So therefore we have to file SARs, we have to file CTRs, currency transaction report. We used to not even accept money. We used to have daily limit of 7,500 per person per day. We just recently upped that since we have our compliance department got a little bit bigger. Now we're able to take in funds over 10,000, but every one of those we're filing a currency transaction report. We're getting your social security number for any transactions over 1999. Right. And basically any transaction we're doing by law, you have to do name, number, address, date of birth, and we're also doing a scan your driver's license to avoid fraud.
Well, and that was going to be my my next series of questions, where Bitcoin's unregulated, right, in a lot of ways, and it's been used to sort of launder money and do things. You can see where there could be some, but that's interesting that you guys have so many regulations to follow.
Well, it's just like cash. You can go to the bank, pull out $5,000 and do illicit activities with it. And, the bank can't follow you around and tell you, hey, don't go here, don't do this, or don't do that. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. Yeah, we can monitor, we monitor like we do, and, do the KYC and all the AML tools that we have. We use a cipher or trace, to any kind of like red flag addresses, or we run OFAC. I mean, we have a full compliance department that for the past 6 years have been doing this, and so we have actually had 6 independent annual audits, which is what you have to have, each year as a money money transmitter, So we have all these in place, just like a bank would. Like we are basically a bank. Like we are looked at as a bank.
The technology, the blockchain technology that makes it all work. Where do you see that going? Where did it come from? How did we get to the point we are now?
The blockchain technology, in my opinion, you're getting my perspective. My perspective of it, it came out in 2009. Yeah. It came out right after the crash. Okay, it came out right after the crash, after the economic crisis back in. I remember, like in October of 2008, people were like throwing themselves off the skyscraper because like everything just crashed.
Yeah, it was we all remember that was a bad time for
our
bad industry.
Time. So what happened was they kept injecting money into the central banking system. They kept injecting it, and then someone got upset and said, hey, I'm going to make a decentralized platform where, you know, where it's an open book ledger blockchain, okay, where everyone can see where everything is, rather than, hey, we need $6 trillion, give it to them, Joe, or we need $10 trillion, and then now look, now you got inflation,
Yeah.
you know, now you're gonna have hyperinflation soon.
Yeah, and I guess my thinking along lines of the blockchain is that's the technology that underlies everything, right? And you guys tap into that. Do you have any proprietary technology on top of that?
Do we have, yeah, so we run all our own softwares. Okay. Originally we started out by, you know, by leasing out our software, but then after a while, you know, we run all our machines on our own software. Our website is our own software, and basically it's just like a customer back end for us to be able to approve, not approve, you know, collect information, driver's license, ID, you know, be able, if someone puts in their phone number, we'll be able to be able to match their phone number, because,
Yeah.
you know, your name, number, address are all public records, you know, so as long as everything matches, then we continue to do business. But, you know, obviously with people that we can't do their KYC, you know, we just don't do business with them.
How long does it take? How long does the process take? Typically.
10 seconds.
Wow. So wow. So
Here.
that's a lot. That's a lot to happen in 10
Here,
seconds.
I'll walk you through real quick. When you put in your number in the machine, you know, 555 you put in your number. If it doesn't recognize you right away, it's gonna say, okay, scan your ID. Once we scan your ID, it recognizes you. If not, then you got a fake ID. Right. So then it chooses not to do business, right? So, but if you put in your name, or if you put in your number, and then telesign, which is what we use, telesign says, hey, Anthony's name is right, last name is right, address is right, okay, and everything is right, then it just keeps letting you move on, you know? And, you know, and
so it basically autofills.
It autofills, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So if there's a point there where, you know, the autofill is not correct, it's going to instantly prompt you to scan your driver's license right away.
So as I mean, we're in a highly regulated industry. So they look at, you know, Bitcoin transactions as, you know, transactions. It looks like an investment, but it, you know, the value of it fluctuates, you know, so much. Where do you see as some of the dangers? I mean, I would immediately see, well, on the one hand, we want everyone in the world to be able to profit, benefit, or use it if this is where philosophically, you know, they are. But at the same time, you know, somebody could get hurt because it's they end up going in.
Absolutely. How about the stock market? Or they tell you that?
They can certainly get hurt there.
Do they tell you that the stock market you get hurt or no?
Sure they do.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I don't see them saying that much. You know, I mean, here, you know what? Listen, you get hurt walking down the street. You get hurt in a lot of ways. Me personally, the trend that I've seen, I mean, you can just look back and look at the records and see where Bitcoin has gone up or down. You know, so what's the question?
A good side of what I'm saying is that it's, you know, on the one, there's a positive and negative. There's a flip side to Bitcoin. On the one hand,
if you bought it 65 2 months ago and then now it's 40K, guess what? You're hurting.
Yeah.
Okay. If you bought, let's say a couple of years ago, it hit the peak 20K and then it dropped to 5K, guess what? You're hurting. Yeah, absolutely. It's just, you know, it's, you know, it's volatile right now because more people are starting to understand it and more people are starting to get into it, you know. Excuse me, but like gold and silver, eventually, yeah, Bitcoin is called like the crypto gold, like the Bitcoin is like the gold, you know. Same with gold and silver, and in my opinion, with what's happening with the central bank, you know what, Bitcoin is like a way to, or cryptocurrency, you know, not just necessarily Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency is a way to hedge. You got cities like Miami, like 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 the like the mayor of Miami, Mr. Mr. Suarez. Okay, he came out and said, hey, he wants to have his employees put 10% of their money in crypto. Why is he doing that? It's genius.
Yeah.
He's doing that because you're hedging. You're putting 10% of your income. You're hedging it by putting it somewhere else in case who knows what's going to happen. You know.
So we have Bitcoin. Are there other cryptocurrencies that you can other digital assets that you can buy through the ATM?
Yeah, you can buy Bitcoin, Litecoin, and we used to have the top five: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and we had one other one. But like the main thing is Bitcoin, you know. And honestly, with Bitcoin, there's like once you have Bitcoin, you can load it into any other exchange and buy the other 1,000 different kind of crypto that you want to buy. But 95% of our sales were Bitcoin. And you know, this is a couple of years ago. I might go back actually and add, you know, the other currencies back. It was more like a nuisance for like 1% to manage like 3, 4, 5 different wallets,
Right.
you know, or 5 or 6. So we just said, hey, we're gonna do Bitcoin, we're going to do Litecoin, and we're going to be the best at doing that, you know, and that's what we've done, you know, since 2015.
How is how's your company structured? What's the structure like? What's the capital, backing of it, that kind of thing?
The structure, I don't know what do you mean by structure, but we are.
Ownership. I mean, are you
I,
100% the owner? You have
I'm
is it a
100%.
partnership? You have, yeah.
Currently, right now, I'm 100% owner of a S corporation.
Right.
Okay, that's the way it sits currently right now.
What do you see in the future? Do you see yourself, getting investors, that kind of thing, or?
In the future, we're looking to sell Class A shares and Class B shares. Okay, that's what we're looking to do. You know, I personally myself bought 1,500 ATMs now to date, and you know, it's getting to a point where like, hey, if we want to have 5,000 ATMs, you know, in a short period of time, in like 2 months period of time, to be able, you know, to remain, you know, top 2, 3 operator, you know, we're gonna have to start to raise some funds.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a natural. It's a
It,
natural
it's a
progression.
natural thing, yeah. You know what? I avoided it as much as I could, you know. But my CFO and our accounting department now, they want to go a different way. So we're at that level now where we're structuring ourselves to be able to sell Class A shares and Class B shares.
So how many ATMs is it total now?
We have close to about 1,500 ATMs right now.
Wow, that's
Yep.
great. Well, look, it's fascinating. I don't want to keep you too long. We're about 20 something minutes, so we can probably talk for 2 hours about it. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you wanted to talk about, or that you want to sort of go back and review it all before we take off?
No, you know what? Just I just think that more and more cities are starting to adopt Bitcoin. You're starting to see more states basically taking Bitcoin for property taxes, and you know, it's starting to be more adopted. And our whole goal was to add value into the adoption, because essentially that's where the real value is at, is when people are starting to use, you know, when people are heavily using this. In my opinion, I think in the next, I don't know, 36 months, similar to the ATM industry, there's about 300,000 regular normal ATMs. Okay, I do think in the next 36 months, there's probably about 12, 13,000 Bitcoin ATMs, and I think probably will be upwards of 50,000 Bitcoin ATMs. And what's starting to happen too is not only we're now involved in Bitcoin ATMs, but now we're also doing a universal kiosk where you can not only just buy Bitcoin, but guess what? You can take your regular debit card and get cash too. Okay. You can eventually going to be able to buy a prepaid card there. You can eventually pay your bills, bill pay. Okay. You can eventually cash a check there, you know, at the kiosk, you know, and then that kind of led us to making our tablets, which is live right now. We probably have about 40 tablet locations And with the tablet program, it essentially, it's like an ATM in a palm of your hands. Those are a little bit lower, not a little bit, way lower money threshold, since we're depending on our agents, like a small phone store or whatever, to collect the funds. Those are obviously going to be less sales. But yeah, but the most popular right now has been the Bitcoin ATMs. And would you believe it? There's 10, 12,000 Bitcoin ATMs in the United States.
That's fantastic. Yes,
It's crazy.
progress. Things are moving along.
So when I started, I bought number 109.
So that's good. So you were in there early. Well, look, I wish you the best of luck with it. I think it's this is all about access Bitcoin. So now you're giving access to a community. I think we all got to wait and see what the regulators are going to do, how much more onerous they make the regulations on us. But I appreciate you being here and explaining it to us.
Absolutely. Anytime, Anthony.
Thanks, Sonny.
Thanks for having me over.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.